There's something fascinating happening deep inside South African rugby right now. Something most fans are only beginning to notice. On the surface, it looks like just another rugby fixture. South Africa A versus Zimbabwe. A simple match. A warm-up game. Maybe even something casual for hardcore fans to enjoy on a weekend afternoon. But the truth? This game is far bigger than 90 minutes of rugby. Behind the scenes, this is a battle for the future. A silent war over talent, loyalty, and the next generation of Springboks. And if you ask me, this might be one of the smartest moves Rassie Erasmus has ever made. Because this isn't just about winning a match anymore. No, this is about locking down the future of South African rugby before the rest of the world can steal it away. You see, rugby has changed. Completely. Years ago, if a young player showed promise, nations could take their time developing him. But today, international rugby has become a global race. Countries are hunting for talent everywhere. Coaches are scouting teenagers before they've even played senior rugby. Agents are making calls. Unions are offering contracts. And one decision can change a player's entire future forever. That's exactly why this South Africa A fixture matters so much. World Rugby regulations now say that if a player represents the second senior national team against another senior international side, that player becomes tied, captured, committed to that nation. No easy switching later. No sudden change of allegiance after another country comes calling. Once you step onto that field, your international future is almost sealed. And suddenly, this small fixture becomes a massive chess move. South Africa knows it has a problem. Not a weakness in talent, actually the complete opposite. They have too much talent. Young stars are appearing everywhere. At the Sharks, at the Stormers, at the Bulls. Everywhere you look, another teenager is exploding onto the scene with unbelievable potential. But here's the danger, other countries are watching too. And some of those countries are desperate. Because if a young player can't break into the Springboks quickly enough, another nation may offer him a faster path to international rugby, a different passport, residency qualification, a brand new opportunity. And South Africa has already seen this happen before. So now, Rassie Erasmus has decided something important. He's not waiting anymore. Instead of hoping these young stars stay loyal, he's pulling them closer to the Springbok system immediately. Smart, ruthless, strategic, and honestly brilliant. Look at the names involved in this SAA squad. Young, fearless, hungry players who could become the backbone of South African rugby for the next decade. Players like Luan Gilliamy, Jocko Williams, and Zekathilo Siaya. Talented backs with speed, confidence, and that raw unpredictability young players often bring. Right now, they may not be global superstars. Most casual fans barely know them. But that's exactly the point. Rassie Erasmus is thinking years ahead. Because while other coaches focus only on the next World Cup, Rassie is already looking beyond Australia 2027. He's thinking about America 2031. He's building early, preparing early, capturing talent early. That's dangerous for the rest of the rugby world. And then there's Marcus Muller. Many believe he could become one of the future faces of South African rugby. Powerful, intelligent, calm under pressure. But the problem for him is simple. The Springbok midfield is packed with monsters already. Damien de Allende, Jesse Creel, Kanan Moody, Andre Esterhuizen, Lucanio AM. Breaking into that lineup right now feels almost impossible. But rugby changes fast. Injuries happen. Retirements happen. Form disappears. Legends fade. And when that moment comes, South Africa wants their next stars ready immediately. That's why this match matters. Every young player selected knows something huge is happening here. This is not just another jersey. This is not just another game. This is a statement, commitment, a declaration of identity. And maybe the most fascinating story of all belongs to Emmanuel Chituka. Now this is where things get really interesting. Born in Congo, powerful, athletic, explosive, Chituka has been attracting attention for years. At 26 years old, he's entering the prime stage of his career. The talent is undeniable. But there's one massive problem. South Africa's loose forward depth is absolutely terrifying. Breaking into the Springbok back row is like trying to fight your way into a fortress guarded by giants. But Rassie Erasmus clearly sees something special in him. Because by selecting him now, South Africa is making a statement to the rugby world. He's ours. And that changes everything. Without this move, there was always the possibility that another country could eventually benefit from his talent through residency qualification. Another nation could wait patiently, offer opportunities abroad, and slowly pull him away from the Springbok pathway. But this fixture shuts that door. One match, and suddenly the future changes forever. That's the genius of this strategy. Most fans only see rugby on the field. Tackles, tries, big hits. But behind the scenes, international rugby is becoming more political, more strategic, and more competitive than ever before. And nobody understands that better than Rassie Erasmus. This is the same coach who transformed South Africa from chaos into world champions. The same man who thinks differently from almost everyone else in rugby. While critics argue online, he plans quietly. While others focus on today, he builds for tomorrow. And now, he's protecting South Africa's future before the storm even arrives. What makes this story even more exciting is the pressure these young players must feel. Imagine being 20 years old, suddenly pulled into the SAS setup, knowing that one performance could shape your entire career. One match could tie your future to the green and gold forever. That's emotional. That's intense. And honestly, it's beautiful in a strange way, because every rugby player dreams of belonging somewhere, representing something bigger than themselves. And South Africa isn't just offering these players a jersey. They're offering legacy. The Springbok jersey is one of the most powerful symbols in world sport. History, pain, glory, unity, pride, everything comes attached to it. Once a player enters that system, expectations become enormous. Fans demand greatness. The country demands greatness. But the rewards? Immortality. And you can already sense the hunger inside these youngsters. They know opportunities like this don't come often, especially under a coach like Rassie Erasmus. If he believes in you early, your career can explode overnight. Just look at what he's done before. Unknown names become global stars under his system. Players doubted by critics suddenly become world champions. That's why young talent listens carefully when Rassie speaks. Because he sees things before everyone else does. And maybe that's what makes this entire situation so fascinating. South Africa isn't reacting anymore. They're evolving, adapting, moving faster than before, understanding modern rugby better than ever. Other countries should probably be worried, because if South Africa can combine their incredible production line of talent with smart long-term planning, the rest of the world may have a serious problem over the next decade. Imagine these youngsters developing together for years inside the Springbok environment, learning from world champions, training under elite systems, growing stronger. There's something fascinating happening deep inside